Hi everyone, I'm Murray Ansell. I'm co-founder and life energy coach at Life Energy Coaching. Today we're going to talk about the principles of human energy. I'm going to look at three fundamental principles so you can understand how you're creating what you're creating in your life. The first of these principles is reflection. We're always seeing a reflection of what's in our consciousness, which is then translated into what's in our energy. These reflections come from three main sources: the mind, the body, and the spirit. So the mental conditioning that we get generally from birth through maybe 6, 7, 8 years old is all going straight into our unconscious mind, our subconscious mind. And there's very little filter that we have to prevent what we're told by our guardians, our parents, our teachers, maybe religious teachers as well. And those who we've come to trust, their truth, their beliefs around reality will tend to go straight into our belief system. And then from then on, as we've developed somewhat of a sense of self and somewhat of a filter, we will then be more in control of what we allow into our mind and into our belief system. But our belief system will create our reality. It's not, I'll believe it when I see it. Basically, you're seeing what you believe. So that's the mental conditioning. And then there's the DNA, the ancestral conditioning, if you like, which is coming into our reality through the activation of strands of DNA that happens through interaction with our environment. So scientists tell us that there are as many as 30,000 different ways that each gene can express itself. So there's many different choices for us in which we can respond to environmental stimuli. And these activations are happening without our conscious awareness. But the fundamental principle behind this is survival based. So we have a huge reservoir of ancestral thought and emotional patterns and behaviors that we can draw upon to respond to something that comes up in our environment, in our life. And the third and perhaps less obvious influence comes from the soul. So the soul is who we are. We're spiritual beings who have taken this human form for reasons that are of soul growth and personal growth. So there may be particular themes that our soul wants to experience and wants to explore more deeply in this lifetime that will affect our energy. That is what's underlying everything that's happening in our life. So those fundamental themes will come through where it's necessary, but the more obvious ones come from conditioning, and although not obvious, there's also prevalence to the DNA activation. So reflection, our universe, our world, everything in our life is really a reflection of what's going on in our consciousness. So that's principle number one. Principle number two is attraction. And the most important thing to understand here is what we put our attention on is where our energy is going. So where our attention goes, our energy flows, as they say. Now, when we set an intention, a conscious intention, we have a desire for something. That can be as simple as we observe something and we think, oh, that's nice, or that's, I'd like to experience that, or I like that. That is one version of an intention. You might also think about conscious intentions where we decide, okay, I want to have a nice house, or I want a particular job or a partner in life that's going to be like this, that, or the other. So we can set these conscious intentions, but we're always setting intentions as far as the universe is concerned, just by what we put our attention on. Now, when we put our attention on something, or we set one of those conscious intentions, in order for those experiences to show up in our life, we need to not have any inner conflicts with those experiences. So those inner conflicts can come from perhaps energy patterns that have been set up through DNA activation, or also from the energy of memories that have created some sort of resistance. Perhaps we had an experience which our brain, which is a survival mechanism essentially, considers to be unsafe and has associated somehow with the intention that we are setting. And so those thoughts those memories will need to come up out of the unconscious into the conscious awareness, because the energy associated with all conflicting memories will need to be transformed either through conscious awareness or just through the process of time, through those memories coming up. So that is why when we set an intention, whether it's conscious or we put our attention on something less consciously, that it takes time for those similar types of experiences to show up in our life. So the third fundamental principle is alignment, which is closely related to what I was just talking about. So alignment is about our mind, body, and spirit, the energies of which being in full alignment with the intention that we've set or the attention that we've given. So as I just mentioned, that takes time, and sometimes that can take many, many, many years. So we're intending major improvements in our life. There can be a lot of conflicting consciousness that's either coming from the mind, the body, and potentially the soul. So now there's a way that you can get from where you are now to where you want to be through conscious intention and your desires much, much, much more quickly. Life Energy Coaching, as well as being the name of our business, is also a process. It's like a process of energy surgery. It's identifying where the misalignments are in your mind, your body, and if relevant, in your spirit, and bringing that into your conscious awareness, understanding why those blocks are there, because there are always reasons for it. And the fundamental reason is that you're trying to come into alignment with who you really are, and who you really are is love. Now, you are a unique expression of love, and you have chosen and agreed to a particular plan for your life. Everybody does. We've all got a unique set of skills and talents and gifts that are perfectly aligned with what that purpose, if you like, is. So Life Energy Coaching is about helping people get into alignment with who they are and who they're here to be. So that's a brief explanation of human energetics, or how your energy works. I hope that's been useful for you. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to sharing our next video with you, in which we will continue to help you change your energy and love your life.